Hello, my loves, and welcome to the channel. I'm Erica. I'm a psychic medium and a prophetess. I hope that you guys are all doing so good. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you are joining once again, welcome back, my loves. You guys have seen the title. This is a reading, a message that's coming through very strongly for those of you out there who resonate with Atlantis and past lives in Atlantis, being connected to Atlantis, okay? Atlantean high priestesses, high priests, high priest queens, high priestess queens, high priest kings, keepers of sacred temples, old earth, teachers, leaders. Many of you guys are bringing your wisdoms, your innate wisdoms and gifts from Atlantis and other lifetimes, but specifically Atlantis coming through. And so this is a time where the Atlantean codes are pouring through, is what I'm receiving from my Atlantean higher selves and my Atlantean family of light, of course, right? So just very quickly before we get into it, I just saw 1, 2, 3. You guys hear the bird? It's such a beautiful day. The temperatures have dropped a little, so it's like actually like nice outside right now. I mean, it's still warm, hot, but it's nice. And so we're all enjoying it. The birds. The cats, the feral cats that bless my home. Myself, I had such a beautiful walk this morning. So anyways, and these are the kinds of energies that we carried and embodied in Atlantis. It was very beautiful and serene, and the animals were so present and happy, and we were so present and happy, of course, too, right? So very quickly, I'm going to just clear a little with my hawk feather, one of my hawk feathers. Someone asked how I got the feather, if I purchased it. Or I have several hawk feathers, owl feathers, many crow feathers, and also many peacock feathers, and all of them were gifted to me by the actual animals. So these were placed in my path on a walk or on my walks. Some of the peacocks that live around here, they come and bless my home every now and then. And they left me beautiful peacock feathers just right on my front porch, on my grass. So they leave these gifts for us. Okay. Thank you, Hawk Spirit, for this clearing, protection, and blessing. Okay. So these are the messages that I have for everyone today. It's Memories of Atlantis. Memories of Atlantis. This is what's coming through for the collective. This is what's coming through for you. Your memories of Atlantis are being activated at this time. Now, for me, the Atlantean codes and energies and frequencies of Atlantis are coming through very strongly. This is why I am being guided to do for the Lionsgate 88 Lionsgate portal. We're going to be traveling to Atlantis. This is what we do in the Quantum Healing Workshop. So that will be the 10th one. And I'm so excited. But I have a feeling Atlantean energies are going to be floating through in the readings from this point until then, for sure. Okay. So you are a high-level Atlantean starseed, we'll say that. And you've had a lot of different incarnations in Atlantis, is what I got. Like, you've had many lifetimes in Atlantis. You were there for the rise of Atlantis. You were there through the golden age of Atlantis. And then you were also there for many of you guys through the fall of Atlantis. I am speaking to those of you guys who are extremely high level oracles and seers, psychics. Your telepathy is like off the charts. Like you can pick up, I'm gonna just shut this window because I love the birdie, but cars driving by, it can be kind of noisy. And these are the gifts that you used in Atlantis. Like, you were able to, and when this is another thing that came through, is that you were, okay, so your past selves, your past lives in Atlantis, your Atlantean past life selves, okay? Which I know for me, my Atlantean past life selves, my Atlantean selves, are guiding me in a massive way. They have been guiding me. But also my Atlantean family has been guiding me. My ancestors, my Atlantean, guides, they're also with me too. So this is the same for you guys. But this is like the weird, like, it's not weird. It's like totally like sane if we think about it, obviously. But it's just crazy to think about. But many of you guys were there in Atlantis, incarnated there in Atlantis when, I'm sorry, not when, but when you were incarnated in Atlantis, you prophesied. Many of you guys as seers and being prophetic and being oracles, you were able to prophesy this time on modern day Earth. And you knew that you would be back for this time. Like you already knew. So what I'm getting here is a lot of these prophetic visions of the timelines, future timelines of Earth, they started coming through very heavily for many of you guys when you were in Atlantis, when Atlantis started to fall. You knew what was happening and you knew what was going to happen. And you also knew that at some point in Earth's history, you would be back. You would come back to recreate Atlantis upon Earth once more. The Shambhala, the Golden Age. Because you carry the wisdoms of that. You know what that means. You know what that feels like, what that looks like. You also know what it looks like and feels like to see things fall. Like Atlantis. Many of us carry these deep trauma wounds from that period in time, in our soul's incarnations, when we were there, when we witnessed the fall of Atlantis, after we had spent so many lifetimes in the Golden Age or the rise of Atlantis. It was heartbreaking. Even right now, I can feel the like heartbreak and sadness and like I want to cry. Like it feels devastating. And so for many starseeds right now, if you were around, incarnated in Atlantis around this time, this period, these timelines, when Atlantis started to fall, it's like embedded within you, and this is a part of what you're healing. A lot of past life regression work will be coming to the surface for Atlantis because you need to clear this, heal it, address it, and take that in and turn it into the wisdom to step into and to be leaders of this new Earth, this new Atlantean energy upon Earth once more. And I'm not saying, oh, we're going to make Earth Atlantis again, but it's going to be the same essence and energy. Do you know? It's going to be that balanced masculine, feminine realm once more. It's not going to happen overnight, but we are seeing it happen at an accelerated rate right now. And it will continue to accelerate. And you guys are the ones doing this. We are, as a collective, doing this. So going back to like being a high-level seer. And for many of you guys, you are going to have dreams, or you're going to have moments, past life flashes or memories that flash like that. Or maybe they stick around for a few seconds. I don't know. But you're going to start having these past life memories coming through of your lifetimes in Atlantis. Some of you guys already have been having them. I have for a few years. I've traveled there, like through the dream state, through the astral. Like I've literally I've experienced like several places where I had ancient incarnations. Like it was crazy. It is crazy. Like when it happens. And I know, you know, like, oh, this was that, and this, I was there. So you guys are going to start, you know, having that too. And a huge trait of being like a high level seer. First of all, I want to say everyone in Atlantis, like super, that's how we spoke, was telepathically. So it wasn't like, I just saw 1111. So it wasn't like some crazy, like baffling, like, oh my gosh, you're a psychic. Like obviously, like it wasn't like that. And that's what I want to emphasize when I say high level. That's what I mean. Everyone there is highly telepathic, highly empathic and sensitive, and most of the time we didn't even speak with words. We spoke telepathically with one another. So when I say like you're a high level seer, I mean it like in a huge way. Like for you to be a high level seer amongst a civilization that is full of high level seers, basically. Of awakened seers, you know, or whatever. So it's very strong, is my point. And a trait that you have carried through your whole life probably, and this won't be for everyone. You're someone who maybe you do carry like a fiery trait or side to you, but for the most part, you're extremely docile and like very extremely intelligent. Like you've had earthly intelligence in a huge way. Maybe you just know, you're just full of like wisdom and knowledge. Like you just know things like random facts or like things in history, or like, I don't know. You're very intelligent. And also what I want to say is, for who I'm speaking to, you may not have been like school smart, where like maybe you actually just, school felt like maybe like kind of like a joke or a distraction. You might have even felt superior to school, like elementary school, or like, you know, like when you were in school, you may have felt superior to it, not in like a, oh, I'm too good for this. And, you know, like you felt superior because of your intellect, because of how extremely intelligent you are on a soul level. So like, maybe you struggled with like certain things in school, or you know, topics, or whatever, you know, whether it was English or math, or I have a feeling for a lot of you guys, you were really into history though, because of your past lives, you know, depending on what kind of maybe history it was or whatever. But, or maybe even like, you know, science, or, you know, things of that nature. But I'm just getting like, you were on a soul level, like, and you knew this, like you felt this about yourself. And so maybe like the lower level, I want to say like the lower level teachings of Earth, it's almost like you struggled with them because you're such a high level, like intelligence, if that makes sense. And it may not, I don't know, but that's like what I'm getting. And you guys know, like if you're new here, like I'm going to share and channel everything that comes through, because obviously that's just what I'm here to do, right? And I do want to thank you, mi amors, for being here with me. I love you guys so much. Let me know how this resonates for you. You know, speaking of the hawk spirit, we had many beautiful species in Atlantis, and interdimensional beings coming through. And, you know, it was not like uncommon to witness seeing a Pegasus or a unicorn, or, you know what I mean? Or a dragon. But the hawk spirit is one, just like many animals on Earth at this time, that has been around with us, has been with us since the age of Atlantis. So for many of you guys, you resonate with these animals, but specifically I'm getting the hawk being a high-level seer itself. A lot of telepathy and third eye energy with the hawk. The hawk soars with the sun, so it's like connecting to the sun codes, sun god Ra, the light, you know, the activating energy, things like that. So when a hawk feather is gifted to you or bestowed upon you, it is highly, highly powerful. Okay, so those of you guys out there, it's like the hawk spirit and Horus energy coming through with this too. They want you to know that you may own hawk feathers, or maybe you, even if you like are at like some kind of like, you know, neat store or something, and they have like feathers that you can purchase that are like eagle feathers or hawk feathers or something, you know, that's special as well. But of course, it's always extra meaningful when the hawk spirit gifts it to you unknowingly on your path, right? But they hold great power because they hold the energy of the hawk and the hawk spirit, but they hold the energy of the sun, of all of nature, the sky, supercharged with the light codes, the sun codes, the nature codes, the air codes. You know what I mean? So anyways, I don't know why I was guided to like just share that with you guys, but yeah. And it's kind of weird because I haven't ever channeled that or shared that information, and it just came through so strongly, even for myself. So very cool. Okay. So I know that like we've been talking, but really I've just been channeling. I think what I want to do is let's go ahead and start with, I have my Atlantis Oracle right here. And then I also I'll finish what I channeled out. So many of you guys you have a very strong connection with the cosmos, with the cosmic, with our star family, the star races, our galactic family, okay? You have a very, very strong connection with that as far as your communication. As starseeds, we all have strong connection to the cosmos, of course, duh, right? But who I'm speaking to, being these high level, like Atlantean teachers, guides, gurus, mentors, this is who you are and who you've been. Many of you guys were rulers in Atlantis. Many of you guys have had incarnations as mermaids in Atlantis or mer people in Atlantis. You may have had an incarnation as a dolphin or a whale in Atlantis, you know, or you're just Atlantean energy, you know, incarnated. Whatever it was, but like you have very strong ties, and you carry like so much. First of all, if you can surrender and connect and just like allow, like our light language kind of comes through when we are, I guess, ready for it to come through. It comes through as an activation, a download, you know, you just start speaking it, I guess, one day, you know. But your Atlantean light language is like so powerful. Now, see, like my light language can kind of sounds similar most of the time, but it can also sound very different. Or like I'll get like certain beings that come through and I'm channeling with them, and it's like sounds different, or I'm speaking like different like language, you can hear it. But my typical regular like light language, I guess is what I would call it, is a mix. It's a mixture. It's very Atlantean. It is Arcturian. It's very Pleiadian and very Lyran. You know, and then of course there's, you know, impacts of all of my different incarnations and star races and different realms and things like that. But it's very powerful. The Atlantean part is what I want to say. Many of you guys have this within you too. And what I'm receiving right now is that this light language will be activating if it's not already. around this time. So you did this in Atlantis very strongly, very powerfully. This is how you knew so many things about how to exist there and how to thrive there and how to grow food there and how to generate power through crystal technology there and to build things there and, you know, how to teach the children. This was like higher wisdom and knowledge coming from, one, your higher selves, but it also was coming from your channeling of intergalactic councils. And I put now and then. So it's like you did that now, but you're now in this incarnation, which is highly connected to your Atlantis lifetime because you're connecting so much to your Atlantean essence, I guess, or you will be more and more and more. You're channeling these intergalactic councils now as well. For a lot of you guys, you are a part of these high level galactic councils, I guess is what we'll say, okay? And you may already know this about yourself, or maybe this is something new that you're just like tuning into. Okay, and then the very last thing that I received was dolphin and whale telepathy and communication. The dolphins and whales are going to start coming through very, very strongly. Mark my words, trust me. Over the course of the next several months, especially like around Lionsgate with the Syrian energy, you'll start hearing a lot of references about the dolphins, about the whales, about like just oceanic energies, the mer people, you know, all of that, right? But the dolphins and the whales are also from Sirius. They are our ancestors. They are our friends. They are our family. They are extremely telepathic and psychic and cosmic. They are literally star beings from a star nation. And they still swim in the oceans to this day, among other species here upon Earth that are ancient or that were in Atlantis with us, like I said, like the hawk, like the dolphins, like the whales, etc., etc. 22 on the timer. But you have the ability. Now, the dolphins and whales, especially our whales, the whales are wisdom keepers. They hold the Earth's Akashic records. They are ancestor energy. They've been around since the dawn of time, is what is coming through. They hold the history of Earth, vibrations of Earth, frequencies of Earth, and water. They are very powerful allies, is what I want to say. And they communicate regularly with the Galactics, just like you, whether you realize it or not. But what I'm getting is like, this is conscious. Like you guys are going to start coming into this awareness where you're going to be like, oh yeah, that was a message from my Pleiadian family. That was a message from my Atlantean family or my Atlantean council or whatever you want to say. And you're going to start sharing these wisdoms just as you did in Atlantis. The knowledges, the wisdoms, the teachings, the codes, whatever it is that came through with your channeling with these intergalactic councils. Because not everybody had access to it. You know what I mean? This took years of spiritual discipline and training and healing and all kinds of things, right? Connecting, trusting. So you have the ability to actually telepathically communicate with dolphins and whales. Like you could tune in, meditate, tune in, call in the dolphin elders, the whale elders. What messages do you have for me, for the collective, for Earth at this time? And see what comes through. What do you receive? What do you see? What do you hear? Okay, so that's everything I got for you guys for... And look at this, literally, like, as we're talking about, like, the dolphins, the whales, the ancestry, the ancestors, you know, all of the things, right? The very first card out is the grandmothers. This feels like the sacred mothers of Atlantis, the grandmothers of Atlantis. these wise sages and seers and Shekinahs and Akashas and gurus, whatever you want to say, priestess, priest. Grandmother energy is coming through very strongly for a lot of you guys. So you may have a grandmother that also, or grandmothers that were maybe also in Atlantis too. Maybe they're also guiding you from the spiritual realm, because I'm getting the spiritual realm. Remember your roots. And that's exactly what we're talking about. Oh my God, there's two of them. I didn't even realize that. Memories of Atlantis. You've had many lifetimes in Atlantis. Like you were there in the rise of Atlantis. How glorious. And then you had many incarnations through the golden ages of Atlantis. How beautiful. But then you also witnessed the fall of Atlantis. How devastating. And we all carry these wounds with us still to this day. If we witnessed that, if we were there in that very scary, terrifying, like horrific time. And so many of us who were there in these ages, these stages, we have always felt a profound something's off with this when it came to the systems here on modern day Earth. And you guys know what I mean by the systems. It starts from a very young age when we start going to like preschool or whatever. And then it just keeps going up from there. Right? We've always seen this is not right. This is not right. And we knew, like I said, we prophesized ourselves in our Atlantean lifetimes. We saw with our vision, we knew that this period on Earth would happen, and that we would be basically reliving. And that's why so many people are right now, especially starseeds, they're very triggered. Like there could be fear wounds triggering because of like things happening in the world and the intensity of it all. It's kind of like reliving the fall of Atlantis, essentially. Except the fall of Atlantis was, it was heartbreaking because we had also witnessed like a perfect life on Earth. And so now we're here and we already know, we come equipped with the knowledge, with the wisdom. We know, we came prepared. So like, like me, I witness a lot of people like that have the fear wounds. Of course, it's normal, of course, like, to have these fear wounds triggered when you see the current world starting to fall, right? Or falling. And you go, wait a minute, I've felt this this is, I don't like the way this feels, So it's normal, but also like there's starseeds out there too, like me, like where I don't know what it is. Like it's just my connection and my faith and, what I know on a soul level. And I don't have fear. I have faith, but I don't have fear. Like, because I trust, So anyway, so I want you guys to know, if you're feeling that, this could be a reason why, not the only reason, but it could be a part of maybe why. And again, very normal. Of course, it's normal. And it's not just lifetimes in Atlantis or Atlantis falling, but it could be triggering because of other periods and incarnations and things that you've witnessed where you're like, oh, I know what this is. I've been through this kind of thing before, Because many of you guys have had very powerful, profound incarnations through your lifetimes. And that's literally why you're here. Not just because of your powerful Atlantis lifetimes, but because of the fact that you were there during the Roman Empire, or things that happened in Greece, or, in Europe, or here in, North America before it was the States. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it could be anywhere at any time. There has been so many things through history on Earth. But now we are aware. And now we're remembering who we are, right? So I love that this is the very first thing, memories of Atlantis. Remember your roots, perspective, and trust the weavings. Your perspective is broadening. Your ability to really like reach out and connect and tune in, it's like so strong. And it's far and wide. Okay? Very strong ancestor energy coming through. And I love that it's like divine feminine energy also, like, you know, as far as like the grandmothers on the card. And then the other card that came out is the breathing rose. Heart healing, emotions, connection, and time eases. See, interesting that it says time eases, because this speaks of like time eases pain, time heals all. And what I'm getting from that is kind of confirmation of what we just said about like what some of you guys have witnessed in Atlantis, and then coming full circle and now witnessing kind of the same thing here. Time hasn't really eased that maybe triggering, but now it's time to heal it. Like becoming more aware of it and going, oh, I know what this is. This is some kind of past life emotion that I'm feeling right now. Or some kind of past life sadness, or, you know, fear or grief, or, you know, whatever it is, anger, irritability. Because there's nothing happening in my life right this moment that's going to make me feel, that's making me feel this way. You know? So much heart healing. Okay, this is what you also are going to be helping other people with. Healing their hearts. Activations. You're going to be connecting and tuning in and tapping in. And when people come to you and they say like, you know, can you guide me? Can you help me on like, you know, any information of like my spiritual path or what I'm meant to be doing here on earth, or any kind of guidance, you know, you'll be able to tune in and help them. You may not give them the whole story, because, you know, that's not what we're here to do. It's like you give the bits and pieces of what comes through, what you receive, what you're allowed. But you will help guide people. You will let people know, like, you know, I see you doing this. I see you doing this. I feel like, you know, this is a passion. You'd be really great at this. And this is what you've done in Atlantis, or this is what you've done in a past life. This is what's coming through for you guys. So many of you guys. Okay. So we're 32 minutes in. And I also feel like with heart healing, emotions, and connection, speaking of memories of Atlantis, I feel like this is also connecting to like divine counterpart union of twin flames who were, you know, last incarnated together in Atlantis during the times of Atlantis, coming together, full circle moments here on, you know, in this modern earth. In this new earth. Time eases. I think that it's taken a lot of time, and right, heart healing and ancestral healing to get to this point in your journey, in your divine unions. And it's time, I swear. The dolphin energy does speak of soulmate energy, twin flame energy, communication, playfulness, all of that. So the advice here for channeling intergalactic councils, like I said, some of you guys are already doing this, or you're already receiving information and channeling, or you're just becoming more aware of it, or you're about to be. Be open, like maybe even speak to your like galactic council or intergalactic councils. Like, you know, you say like, I'm ready to receive, I'm open, like maybe sit down, try to connect, tune in, meditate. What do you receive? What are you being shown? Any visions? You know, do you hear anything? Whether it's like, you know, I don't know, like hearing Los Angeles or the number 7. I don't know. It could be anything. Okay. We have another card that just came out. Okay. See, exactly. See, I noticed this card flipped over when I was talking about the divine union of like twin flames and kingdom spouses who had incarnations together, or had lifetimes together, or just lifetimes in Atlantis. Coming back around, like full circle moments, like coming back together again around this time. And look at the card that came out while I was talking about this. First of all, this beautiful to me, it's like a peony or a rose. I don't know. It's probably the rose because it says the rose oracle, but it kind of always reminds me of like a pink peony. But it's literally the second bloom, a second chance. It's never too late, and new possibilities. This is your second chance of Atlantean, of bringing forth your Atlantean power and wisdom and creating this new earth on earth. This is our second chance. Humanity's second chance. Right? Okay, but this is also second chance of divine lover, divine counterpart, divine union. It's never too late, and new possibilities. So take that how it connects for you and your divine counterpart. Okay? So I'm going to leave it here, mi amors. I send love. I hope you enjoyed this message. I'm just going to get one Atlantis Oracle card. I totally forgot to even use it, but this was mostly channeling anyways. Okay, so we have card number 23, cooperation. This is cooperation. Cooperations. See how they're all working together? Harvesting their food. Everything is beautiful and lush. Everyone's happy, feeling good, high vibrational. Okay, and then excellence. Look at master number 33. Okay. So the cooperate is, it says cooperate in a vision greater than yourself. Okay. In the golden times of Atlantis, everyone cooperated selflessly for the highest good, with the benefit that they all felt safe and nurtured. The people also pooled everything, their produce, their gifts, their skills, and their work. All was offered with love to the community. There was no such thing as money, because each family took only what was needed. There was always plenty for everyone, and a sense of abundance prevailed. And then it speaks of togetherness. What can you share today? It may be your friendship, your time, or something more tangible. Receiving this card guides you to give away anything that you no longer need. It also suggests that you cooperate with others for the greater good. Be generous-hearted, and your rewards from the universe will be great. And that's what I was talking about, huh? With like how like everyone was just like help, like we all grew food and we all were like worked together and it was all right. Okay. And then excellence. See, this is about your excellence. Okay. It says aim to do your best, which you will. That's why you're here. You will do your best. Right? In Golden Atlantis, inter-community games were frequently organized. People competed for sheer joy and because they enjoyed the challenge. The aim of competition was to develop excellence, never for ego gratification, so losers were gracious and sportsmanlike. Even bridle-free, rider-less horses raced for the exhilaration and pleasure of it. That sounds weird. Rider-less horses raced for the exhilaration and pleasure of it. Okay. These were the forerunners of the Olympic Games, and they drew communities together to socialize, participate, and celebrate, okay? So it was just like all about just like fun. It was not, you know, like a competitive, like, oh, you lost and, you know, I'm going to win. It was just like whoever wins, wins. It's all just like fun and games, right? Do your best. If you chose this card, you may be presented with a challenge or responsibility. Accept it and do it graciously to the very best of your ability. It does not matter whether you fail or succeed. Your guidance is to participate with all of your heart and soul in whatever life presents to you. Beautiful. This is also like for me, like victory. You know what I mean? And for me, this is a time, a victorious time, like in your journey. And we've been talking about a lot about that, right? So anyways, I love you guys so much. If you're interested in working with me, connecting with my gifts one-on-one, you can find all of the information in the description box below, whether that's a general 30-minute or 1-hour psychic mediumship psychic mediumship reading. Or I also am a past life Akashic reader where we open up your Akashic records and we tune into that. And we talk about soul's journey, soul's lifetimes that come through. Which is also very cool and really healing. And then, yeah, there's a few more options. I do intuitive, energetic healing sessions and things of that nature. So anyways, I love you guys so much. Have a beautiful day. I'll see you soon. Namaste.